Hey, everybody. Here we are. Annabelle. Hello, Dodie. Spidey. Rakes. Just made it in time. I was over there arguing with Ernie. So I haven't got to the correct place in my... Hey, rumor has it. The correct place in my... Oh, there it is. That I wanted to talk about. We're going to go over Kathy, my favorite subject. So, should we wait till a couple of people come in here? I'll wait till 100 people get in here. Oh, Spidey fan. Just deflect. How many times did you change the subject? I couldn't keep up. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think he wanted to make up with me. Well, but you're going to get what you deserve. Okay, whatever. Hopefully Ernie will get what you deserve too. That's what I want to say. Hey, Starry Night. Look at you guys. I love my chat. Poor Renee Marie got beat up there. I know, I was getting whiplash. Everything in the police report was wrong. There was like 5 cops on his back. I'm a tragedy pimp. I only talk about Ernie and Shelby. I can only get a prisoner. I don't have any friends. Yeah, Mo is extremely nasty. Extremely nasty. I wonder how... well, she was a mean girl. That's how she hooked up with Ernie, but... yeah, she's almost as bad as Spooky. I think she might... yeah. Well, he can't answer a question. Answers a question with a question. Deflects. Denies. Deny. Oh, yeah, that didn't happen. That would be all over the newspapers. It is all over the newspapers. And if you're running for governor, I think you need to be up on current events in Kentucky. That is all over the newspapers. There's lawsuits. Hal Innocent sent me a news clipping from New Zealand about it. So if they know over there, certainly somebody that from Kentucky would know. Hey, Mags. Yeah, the police report's all lies. Mags, you're funny. Raindrop Blast, hello. Love you too. You guys are all awesome. Yeah, I don't know why I went up there. Sometimes I just like jousting with him, but it's a lost cause. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. He has no form to him. Can't get a grip. Yeah, 5 cops. He was wearing a t-shirt and socks and shorts. His eyes were dilated because they shined the light on him. Yeah, he can spin a good yarn. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Hey, Charlie. Welcome. Good to see you. I was hoping you'd stop by. I know they were rude. I don't know. He doesn't have control of his chat at all. Or I think he likes that. And they always their insults are always sexual. For some reason, that's their go-to. I guess they think that's the best way to insult someone. I don't know. They're an odd bunch over there. Spidey fan. I don't know. Did it say Max? Did it say Bigfoot in the report? I guess I missed that part, but I guess people said he did say Bigfoot. Why would you just come out with that? That's odd. What made him think of Bigfoot in the first place? That had to be on his mind. I don't know. I think I think Ernie lives a lonely life, running from his demons. I hear people said all I talk about is Ernie, and here I am talking about him. But, people said yes, he is a purveyor of chaos. Hi, Renee Marie. Girlfriend. So, that was kind of nice being on a panel with you, hon. Yeah, purveyor of chaos. People, his family, other townsfolks, friends, all said that Ernie never used drugs and never didn't drink, even though he claims alcoholic, but never used drugs until after Shelby's trial. So I really think Ernie, I think he does have some semblance of a conscience, must be, or some guilt that's eating at him. He's trying to self-medicate, trying to get away from that. I mean, people are on drugs are trying to run away from something. They don't know how to deal with their thoughts. They're trying to escape reality. And here that's kind of ironic that his channel is named Unlock Your Reality. Or is it Catch Me If You Can now? I don't know. I'm not up on it. I am covering. Hey, Kay Dan, love you. Glad to see you. We are covering Krazy Catherine in a minute. Yep. She made an appearance on Crime Lines and Lies today, and she fit right in there. Speaking of lies. But why was he thinking of Tina in the middle of the night? Hi, Verbal. Oh, thanks, Charlie K. Yeah, it was rough. Not as rough. Thank you. I appreciate that. You didn't have to make yourself a target, though. I tell people when they're in other people's chats and they're going after me, don't make yourself a target. Yeah, that crimes have consequences has always been after me. Oh, she said I've done this in a lot of cases, and then she said she's been here a lot longer than I have. So then I guess she's the one that's involved in a lot of cases, not me. I know. They all said that until. Yeah, Buddha. Hi, Buddhas. Yeah, yes. Although when I read it, it said they couldn't do the test because he was nutso, right? Or I shouldn't say nutso, but acting out. So, I'm not sure if that counts as a refusal or not. They didn't really say that, did they, in that report? Although, did they in the other one? I don't know, but, the dash cam it's all sent in is going to be pretty damning, I think. Oh, Starry Night, you might be right. Yeah, and at the tow yard, he always thinks Shelby's gonna get him. Shelby don't want to be anywhere near him. Hey, Innocent. Trust me, Shelby does not want to have anything to do with Ernie. Of course, we got to get it to Kathy here. But what I thought was interesting is he said that he wanted to clear up a rumor that he and Jimbo had things on each other because he had things on Jimbo, but Jimbo didn't have anything on him. And he said Jimbo, he liked to keep his hands clean and have other people do the dirty work for him. Ernie, you already admitted that you did Jimbo's dirty work for him. You said he paid you $100 to $200 for each instance that you did for him. So, what's your point there? That means he's got something on you, right? Or am I wrong? Oh, I know. He carried 4 or 5 cops on his back because he can't be beat. She's just a gem, isn't she? Oh, Charlie, thank you, hon. Oh my god. Welcome. Welcome. I think so, Starry Night. He does. He must feel, on some level, he must feel guilt. He has to. He knows that's not right. Is Bigfoot? Hi, Chica. Hey. Oh, I reported the bitch over 20 times. Hey, avian guy. Yeah, I'm sure they had blood drawn at the hospital too. Yeah, okay, I'm trying to. Lisa K is behind in chat. Let me go down. Did I miss someone? I don't think so. Okay. So, let's see if I can get to this to where I gotta get this right. I'm trying to play this off my phone and I can't really adjust. So I have to go to where Prayer Garden comes on panel here. She had Pam Tate. I wonder how. Oh, yeah. I don't know. Somebody said that they were all still three together. I know, yeah, Nicolina's still talking to Jimbo. I'm fairly certain of that. Oh, this chat is always a lot of fun. Okay, let's see. Let me see. Let's start this. Responsible for what happened to little Summer Wells. Exactly. When the police speak, call me an idiot. I do. Well, hello, you old stranger. Okay, here we go. How you doing, Brooks? Good morning, everybody. God bless. Hey, Fozy. God bless. Hey, Pam. How you doing, girlfriend? Yeah. And Marlena did say that she signed her child over. Rumor has it, yeah, I know. That's why we're going over her. I can't either, and I hadn't talked about her in a while. I know she really likes it if I talk about her on a Friday, but I'm going to be out of town Friday, so we're going to be doing it tonight. Chica, no. And they call me a tragedy pimp. Yeah, I don't know if it wasn't. Yeah, Michael Cohen did. Yeah, but as far as working at Trump Towers, somebody showed that paperwork. And I remember they said he was working for a temp agency that did supply. I know, and Mo said, well, if he worked there, then that means he worked at Trump Towers. No, they supply security for a lot of different jobs. They didn't supply Ernie for Trump Towers. I don't know. He and his pictures, he does those photo ops and photoshops himself everywhere. And I'm going to get what's coming to me, I guess. Hi, another Tequila Sunrise. They don't know how to have an adult conversation. They don't know how to use logic or, yeah. Hey, Annie Pats. Yeah, big typers, yeah. I know. Where the limes? I don't know. We got the Tequila Sunrise here. We just need the limes, right? Okay. Let's hear what Kathy's got to say. Okay, first of all, Marlene did not sign her child over to her sister. Or sign away her rights, I guess I should say. Marlena said that she let her daughter stay with her sister until she got her life straightened around. She's kind of in uncertain circumstances. It could be a puppy. Did you see them mocking me about my friend's private plane? I'm going to ask to post pictures. Maybe tomorrow. No, we don't leave until the 11th, I think. I'm kind of excited. I don't know how many seats the plane is, but she said we could bring all the luggage we needed, so that's going to be kind of fun. I won't have to check my bags. Yeah, Spidey fan, it actually, especially over there. I don't know, innocent. I just tried to talk to Ernie. Just getting some info from him. Okay, so here we go.
To her sister. I don't think that was the case, Brooks. I think the case was, her child got placed through Child Protective Services with her sister.
No, that's wrong.
That's, what I believe. Well, what they do is they make everything look so simple because no one's just going to sign their child over. Right?
Well, Ziggy did, didn't she? Same thing she did. You definitely can do that. Pretty sure that's what Ziggy did. Till you get your life straightened out, you give somebody else guardianship, right? What was Quentin Simon? Her mother had guardianship of the kids, right? Until she got herself straightened around. I don't think that's that unusual.
And I can tell you, considering what happened on Ben Hill Road the week before Grandis, the week before Summer went missing, and Grandis suddenly took Marlena's daughter back home, and someone called CPS, and CPS on June 14th came up the hill saying, okay, we just need to check all the kids. This was not about BB guns. Hell, I live in rural Oklahoma. Do you think any damn social worker is going to come out here and say, we heard a BB gun? Or we heard that your kids were shooting stray dogs off the hill? Yeah. Yeah, you got a pack of dogs and, you got your kids out there shooting them away? No. Yeah.
But them dogs went to Hawaii. They wasn't there that day. That summer went missing. No, I'm kidding. It's a joke.
No, it's the truth. It's truth.
They said the dogs were gone.
They were watchdogs. They knew when to leave and when to come back. Right. Someone's like, they weren't there that day. I don't know where they went.
Right.
And he's like, that was that's just something about BB guns. No one is going to go to a holler or anywhere.
Okay, this is Crime Lines and Lies, and her guests are Pam Tate and Prayer Garden of America. Yeah, get in. Oh, the mods. Yeah, I don't think they know what moderator means over there. Okay, so I do not believe that there was any CPS there on the 14th. Pretty sure Don made that up. There was still an active CPS case about Summer when she went missing.
In rural anywhere America and check on a fucking pellet gun. Well, Don lied. Don lied about,
Don was always lying.
I'm not doubting that the Child Protective Services wasn't, called up there at some point about BB guns and so forth and so on. Cruelty to the animals. I'm not going to say that I don't think that didn't happen, but the last particular time that Child Protective Services was there was because some teachers at the school witnessed Candace severely abusing Summer. And that's why Child Protective Services was called in.
Wrong again. You know, I heard some rumors about that, but I also heard that wasn't true. But that's not why Child Protective Services were there. Sorry, Kathy. Yeah, thank you, Renee Marie, but you didn't have to do that. But I appreciate it. Appreciate the backup. But, you know, you just took some abuse too.
Bingo. And bingo. And also, Marlena, a relative of hers, did not like what was said about Marlena's daughter being up on Ben Hill Hell, and they came out with the quickness.
Well, also, Marlena and her sister-in-law, the reason that, you know, somebody reported that Marlena and her sister-in-law was violating, you know, this child in a very bad way. And it sounds,
You know, with her, it's always sexual, right? Violating. Hey, little Dev. Hi. Marlena is Marlena Crawford. She was a friend of Candace. She did live there in Ben Hill for a short while, I think. PG's had her on her panel. I've talked to her. I've talked to her and Ricky. She put Ricky on the phone. He's an interesting character. And Summer's little friend that she's in the picture with, where they're pretending to be old ladies, hunched over or whatever. That is her mother. I think pretty much everybody knows her name, but we'll just call her Jay. So she was at Summer's for a kids' party the weekend before Summer went missing. And then on Sunday, apparently, I think it was Sunday, Candy took Journey home. And said she had overstayed her welcome, whatever that means. I don't know. Hi, Nani. How are you doing? Charlie, great news. What did I miss? Oh, yeah, the hate. Yeah, I don't know why we can't just talk. You know, and then, yeah, I was under the Ernie spell. I think some people are. It is a spell. He's like a Svengali.
to me, like, that's, you know, why.
Okay, so now you're accusing 2 more people without any proof of abusing children. Everybody's a child abuser in this story. Everybody. And we're going to get to more of them. She ain't done accusing people of that.
The little girl was taken. So, you know, if they're violating the child, possibly, you know, what Jody Sue said, you know, you go ask Andy what he was given to Candace. So, you know, it's a very good possibility that if they're violating the child themselves, they would allow it to be violated somewhere else.
Hey, Kyle. Hi, Discovering. Wasn't PG and a lot of creators attacking Pam over the allegations over her niece and calling her a pedo? Yeah. I've heard allegations about Pam before. I don't know. I didn't see any charges. I don't know. You never know with PG. You know, she said Ziggy was going to hell, and then she had Ziggy over in her panel. She flip-flops. You know, whatever she needs for content, I think. So yeah, Pam. I don't know. Pam goes around and gets blocked, and then yeah, she's been blocked from PG several times. And then she came over here to Brooks. So nowhere else to go.
You know? That's my thought.
I am never going to say a child is lying. I believe what Marlena's daughter said to her, or not to her, because Marlena, I don't really know how she communicates with a child. Okay, I'm being as politically correct as I can.
Right.
I do believe what she reported to other authorities, and that had to do with the Wells' oldest son. And that's why they got there with quickness.
Okay, so now we got more sexual allegations. That's actually not why CPS went to the Wells. I do know what they went to the Wells for and who made that report. And not from because the authorities told me. So how does she know what was reported to authorities? Because I'm wondering who told her that. Oh my God. This is a lady that hates the Wells and has been crucifying Candace since day one. She actually showed a bare butt of a woman that she said was Candace's butt, and she edited that out. Wonder why.
For a BB gun, they would be there in maybe 2 months and just say, hey, let's not shoot the dogs anymore with the BB guns, all right? No.
I think Dawn and Candace are one. They go hand in hand when it comes to equalness on evilness. I think they go hand in hand. And I think that, what they, in my opinion, Brooks, I believe that they had all to do with the disappearance of this little girl. I think they had all to do with, planning all of this in advance. It sure seems like it. I mean, that's where all the evidence is, going.
Not really. What evidence are you talking about, Kathy? What evidence? I don't know of any evidence that it was planned in advance whatsoever. And I've gone over it a lot. Actually, I just did a live about it, I think 2 days ago. Pre-planned, premeditated. I don't see that at all. I don't see any evidence of that. Anyway, this is for entertainment purposes only, and this is fair use. I just felt like I need to throw that in there. She sounds really burned out now and like 30 years older. I think she's 60. But yeah, she don't have no 6-year-old daughter. Sorry. All of what they are saying is rumors. Exactly, Kyle. All of it is made up. Hi, BB Diamond. Yeah, I don't know. I did hear some things, but I mean, there's no proof of anything. And Marlene has said that nothing happened with her daughter, and she doesn't know why anyone would even say that. So I don't know.
Two is a pre-planned, premeditated outcome of this child needing for some reason to, be destroyed. And I think that they did destroy her.
I hate that verbiage. I hate when she says destroy, destroy, destroy. They needed to destroy her. Okay, this is in her fantasy, and we'll get more into this as we go. Hey, Pamela. No, just a little about me being on Ernie's. Okay, what did I miss? Just more slandering allegations. Yeah, she did. Yep. Discovering she did say that never happened. I don't know. That's just like with all the allegations of Candace and Hunter. Even Jody Sue. of all people, said that no, that didn't happen. There wasn't anything like that going on. I asked Andrew. He said he dismissed it, but because so many people talked about it, he thought it should be checked into. So he said he did report it and it came back unfounded. People just see sex everywhere they look. Some people, some chats, especially with children. And I guess the more sensational or the more outrageous it is, the better, right?
I mean, that's my opinion, and I'm going to keep it because
Sometimes I wish she would keep her opinions. Just saying. That's my opinion.
if you just go back to Don Wells, for instance, driving that particular Subaru car, the vehicle, if you go back to the 14th, he fires his co-worker because, law enforcement always asks you, is there anyone that dislikes you enough to want to do something like this to your family? They always ask you that, and Don knows it. These are, Don and Candace are hardcore criminals.
Okay, so hi, Crazy Chicken Lady. Hey, Trouble. Jose was who said he saw it, didn't he? No. Any abuse? No. No, I don't recall Jose saying he saw any abuse. Did I miss that? I don't put much stock in what Jose said, but maybe that's just me. Oh, Hunter? No. No. I don't recall that at all. Does anybody else? No, there wasn't anything. Nobody saw anything going on with Hunter. I think Candace is just kind of stunted and, emotionally. And I think she's just, Hunter's age. It's like middle school humor they were doing, We talked about that once before in here. Remember Rosie Palm and her 5 sisters or whatever, and everybody was talking about what they called it in their country. PG, yes, she does think she's right, and she thinks she talks to law enforcement. She tries to tell people she does. She said she reported Jody Sue, and the cops went to Jody Sue's house and knocked on the door and questioned Jody Sue, and then they came back and they called PG and told her what they talked about, what Jody Sue said. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, she was not at the Wells. No, she's never been to the Wells. No, everything she knows, she heard over the phone. And, she heard Candace beating up on Don a couple times. She's so worried about domestic violence. I think she would have done something about that. She heard Candace bust Don's eardrum. Okay, Jose said he saw the child in the shower with Don. And you know what? I really don't believe that. I don't believe a lot of what Jose said. He wasn't there the amount of time he said. He wasn't there at the same time Don was long enough to see all the things that he claimed he saw. And I don't believe Don would get in the shower naked with Summer in full view of a strange man. I'm sorry, I just don't. I don't believe that happened. And then, PG turned that into Jose grabbing a naked Summer out of the shower. Yeah, I don't think Jose would have lived to overdose in a park if he grabbed a naked Summer out of the shower. I'm sorry. That's just me, my opinion. I don't think that happened. And that's why Don bought Candace the Subaru. was for her keeping quiet about that. I don't believe that either. I don't know why he bought the Subaru. They said it was because the boys' school closed, which it did, and she had to drive a farther distance to the new one. And what's the green vehicle they had? Wasn't in a good enough shape. Which I kind of do believe. I do believe that. I mean, that kind of lines up with the facts as we know them. The boys' school did close. Don and Candace, for hardcore criminals, Don and Candace aren't very successful at it. How many times have they been caught?
And there's nothing that they don't know.
Hey, Kirst, I missed you coming in. Yeah, Jose, I don't. Teenage mentality, exactly. Yeah, just that childish. A lot of people over in a certain person's chat kind of have that mentality too. Just saying. Satan's garden. What did the Wells? Cat in the chat. Welcome. It was. I'm not going to say specifically what it was for, but because that's not public knowledge. But CPS did come to the house several times and did address the living situation there. Remember, they put you can just figure out from what I'm going to tell you, I guess. They did have him put a wall, in the bathroom so that you couldn't see right in there. And then they made the two older boys sleep upstairs. They couldn't be in the same room downstairs as Summer. And these are just typical, CPS or child welfare regulations. And they wanted to make sure that, the basics were being followed in the Wells home. So it had something to do with the living situation, I'll tell you that. Not sexual abuse, but I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Kyle, I know. They don't check. Yeah, I believe the shower happened. I just don't think it happened in front of Jose, like PG says. And I don't believe. And Jody Sue admitted that she didn't see him because I pointed out you can't see the bathroom, the shower, the bathroom from that doorway. Jody Sue said she didn't get out of the truck. And then she admitted she never saw Don. She saw Candace and Summer naked yelling for a towel, but she didn't see Don. So, yeah. Yeah, they did admit it. I'm sure it probably did happen. Do I believe Jose is deceased? Yes. What's the creator that had the death certificate? She did a whole live on it. God darn it. I can't remember now, but yeah. Yeah, Crazy Chicken Lady, I just don't believe that. I don't think that he saw that. Yeah. Well, yeah. And if you had a strange guy that you weren't getting along with all that great to begin with, and he grabbed your naked daughter, 4-year-old, I guess she was then, I think that'd be fighting words. I don't think Don would have let that go, and I don't think Don would have been showering naked where Jose could see. That just doesn't make sense to me. A lot of the things that Jose said. Don drove a red truck when he went long distances. How the hell would he know that? How would he know that? Or did he follow Don to work and see if he switched to a red truck? Tucker didn't have red trucks, so there was an employee there that had a red truck, but why would Don? That doesn't make sense. And how would Jose know that? And was he there a week with Don before Don went to jail? I don't know. That just doesn't. None of that makes sense. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Okay, so am I caught up with chat? Unbelievable. Yes, it was. No, I don't think. No, it wasn't K Crime. But it's right on the tip of Crime and Justice. I believe it was Crime and Justice. Exactly, Charlie K. He wasn't there long enough to see any of that stuff, so I don't know. Plus, he was coached before he went on the show. I mean, he called Grandis. He didn't call her Grandis when he was there. Where'd he get that from? He was given some materials to study, and that's not the way you do an interview. I'm sorry. You don't coach somebody on what to say or give them certain materials that you have cherry picked for them to watch. I just think there was a lot more hocus pocus there. I don't know. I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. Think about that. Think about Cher and Ziggy and their previous relationship and how this all came about, what's going on now. Think about that in light of clicks and views. Okay, that's what I'm going to say. Very coached. I think so too, Kyle. You didn't hear that from me? Hello. Why wouldn't Don shower naked with Summer? I didn't say he didn't. I said I did think that happened. Absolutely. I don't think he's a great guy. Yeah, he beat Candace. Candace beat him. She broke his eardrum. A lot of people were on the phone with Candace beating Don. So, yeah, I don't think either one of them is all that great as far as that. Not a robot. Hello. Did anyone else notice the FaceTime looked very much like an AR filter when he spoke? No, I don't. I guess I don't know what you're talking about. The FaceTime when Don spoke? No. I remember Chasing Truth giving Brad Allen on the Billboard scam. Yeah, I didn't really pay attention to that because I didn't think that had anything to do with Summer going missing. Oh, referring to Jose, yes. The second time? Yeah, I think you're right. And that picture of him supposedly on the gay website or whatever, that was, yeah, where it looked like he had makeup on. I don't believe that was legit either. People were messing with him, in my opinion. My laugh is contagious. Freeside, hello. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. Wendy Wims. Hello, Wendy. Hey, Angel Eyes, welcome. She almost busted his door. I know, and everybody said, oh, we saw him hit her. No, you didn't. You heard her hit the door. And then she yelled, you just hit me in the throat. Well, when you get hit in the throat, you aren't yelling and talking right away. Trust me. Because you can't really talk for a while after that. So, and there wasn't any video at that point. There was just sound. So nobody saw that. I'm not saying they didn't wail on each other, because they certainly do. CCL. Okay, who did I miss? I think we got everything. Yeah, good to see you over here, Angel Eyes. Oh, Crazy Chicken Lady. Everybody's saying hello to you. Well, I got to catch up then, because I knew that wasn't going to last. Especially not the way it started. That was destined for failure.
When it comes to the street and law and everything else. And they knew that this question's going to be asked, and Don starts driving that vehicle, fires his co-worker to blame it on the next day. They got an open grave across the road.
So, yeah, Tennessee Truth was in here. I know, I'm caught up with chat. Unbelievable. But there's only 68 people in here, so that's better. Yeah, Tennessee Truth was in my last live about summer. She was in the bushes, I think, but she did come out when I said something. Oh, about Chad Arnold still being around it right before the cops got there. Okay, so PG's part of her premeditation theory is that Don drove the Subaru so that the Starlink would show where he was. What she doesn't know is the Starlink was not working in the Subaru and hadn't been. So that shoots that out the window. Fires his coworker to blame it on him. An open grave. Yeah, she wants that grave. She wants that grave opened. However, when we talked about that the last time, that grave was dug. And then I was told they poured a concrete slab in the bottom when they dug it to put the oh, my mind just went blank because I was thinking of something else. To put the vault on. I don't know if that's true. I can't say that's true. That does make sense so that it would be level. But law enforcement did search. The dog searched the cemetery. And Mrs. Chambers said there's cameras on the cemetery. It's not a very big cemetery. And she said law enforcement did come and take the SD cards from those cameras, and there was no one sneaking a body into that grave. And Chad Arnold was not the grave digger, like PG tries to say. She really likes to put Chad Arnold in the picture.
Across the road, and it's a window. That open grave is a window. It can be closed anytime, and they need to move quick. And they know the grave diggers. The grave diggers are the people up there, doing all of this illegal, evil stuff with them. The grave diggers are no better than they are. And
how does she even know who the grave diggers are? There was one grave digger, one guy that dug the grave. I investigated this, and they said that usually the funeral homes have their own people that dig the graves. However, if they don't have someone, I can't remember who I was told dug the grave. I think Ricky Crawford, maybe. But she said Chad Arnold didn't have anything to do with it. He was too lazy to do any work. There you go. I said it. So the gravediggers are doing all this illegal, evil stuff. Everybody's doing illegal, evil stuff in her mind. What the hell? I'm sorry.
My opinion. And so they know who's doing this. They know that the right price can get whatever you want around there. And and the right price there ain't much. I mean, to these people, $20 is a lot of money. And so, it's not like, you live in Hollywood or anything where you're going to have to, pay a substantial price to get things done. So
she sure seems to know a lot about buying illegal activities. What exactly is somebody paying $20 for these illegal, evil human gravediggers to do? Oh my God. Oh my God. Here we go. Here we get to it. Yeah, it's discovering, I believe that. What about the tree trimmers? I don't know much about those. Ziggy talked to him. Now, didn't they say they left at 3:30 that day? So that had to be about the time that Candace got home. Because at 3:09, they were 10 minutes from home. Depending on how long they were stopped in the road when they took that single photo, they would have been home around 3:30. And that's what time Ziggy Valero said that Candy said that they got home. And Summer didn't get out of the car. I don't know. We're just trying to figure it out. Did the tree trimmers leave before Summer went missing? I don't know. Charlie, I just answered your question before I saw it, I guess. It had to have been about the same time. Somebody, I didn't really pay much attention to them, but somebody said they usually left at 4:30, but that day they left at 3:30. So I don't know, but that would have been the time about the time that Candace pulled in. I'm pretty sure they were questioned, though. I can't imagine that they weren't. If nothing else, Ziggy questioned them. Yeah, Renee Marie. Yeah, her head in a box, and then for Fred was saving it. Yeah, I haven't heard her say. No, I don't think we do. Well, I think Ziggy's parroting Fred, right? So I don't know. Ziggy said I'm Candy's lesbian girlfriend, so I didn't give her much credence. Never met Candy. Not my type.
These are low-life human beings that, accept very little payment for some really sinister things. And I truly believe that it was it was the perfect crime. It was the perfect crime. I mean, that they seen the opportunity with that particular grave open. They knew who was digging it. They knew, and Candace goes down and she happens to just meet up with Chad Arnold, who is one of the grave diggers around there. She meets up. He also is family.
Okay, he's not. I love to listen to Fred talk. But do you love listening to what he has to say? That's what we need to know. Low life human beings. Okay, she doesn't know any of these people. So she's saying that, wait a minute. So it was pre-planned, but yet they just saw that opportunity with the particular grave open. So if they had it planned, why didn't they just stick to the plan, Peachy? Why would they, at the last minute, see an open grave and stick the body in there? They knew who was digging it? No, they didn't. It wasn't Chad Arnold. Sorry, he's not a grave digger around there. She got that wrong. He's family to the Morlocks, who are the main grave diggers. That's not who I was told was the grave digger. All right.
Who is one of the grave diggers around there.
Is Opal in here?
He also,
Hi, Pam O'Connor.
He also is family through his wife. He's family to the Morlocks, who are the main grave diggers around there. And we know they're really bad people. So,
everybody's a bad person. An evil, illegal criminal.
It's perfect. It's a perfect window of opportunity. And I think that's why Donald had
So if it was pre-planned, why did they need a window of opportunity? Why? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. That's kind of mutually exclusive. Window of opportunity means you saw an opening to do something. Pre-planned means you had it all planned out beforehand. You wouldn't need a window of opportunity. I'm not following her logic, but then I usually don't, thankfully.
Smirk on his face like he wanted to pat himself on the back when he told the one news reporter that Summer ain't ever going to be found. He also said, they like to use "I had a dream" type thing, they like to pull out the Martin Luther King saying, I had a dream. And he says, summer's just down the road, type thing. And what's right down the road? That particular grave that was open for that window of opportunity, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we have zero idea what's going on, and law enforcement is not being transparent.
Why would they have to be? I don't know any investigation where law enforcement's being transparent. They don't owe us any explanation. Why would they tell us what they're doing? Why would they tip off what they're doing and let people know where they're going? I've never known that in any. I mean, that's why you can't FOIA anything from an open investigation. It doesn't even make any sense.
Expect them not to be, because that's dangerous to the case. But are you looking at the screen right now?
Yes, I'm looking at the screen.
I saw that on your chat years ago.
Okay, it's Candace saying, if I'm guilty, why am I not in jail? Let's see what she's going to say about this.
When Can said, if I was guilty, why am I not in jail? Now, it's actually not from your chat, it's from Daisy's. But you put it on.
Well, the reason that she isn't in jail is due to the fact that law enforcement in that area, for one.
Okay, I'm just going to butt in here and say that the reason she's not in jail is because there's no evidence of any crime that would require her being jailed. There you go. That's the short version.
Destroyed the crime scene from day one. And another reason she's not in jail is...
How would you know, Kathy? Because you weren't there. How do you know that they destroyed the crime scene? How do you know that that was the crime scene? How do you know where the crime scene was, Kathy? Huh? Tell us that.
Because Tennessee don't like to prosecute without a body. Another reason she's not in jail.
Hi, 120 Acres. Welcome. You're all right. We're just chatting, making funny comments.
I will tell you this. If I was law enforcement,
that's kind of scary, and I've heard people actually tell PG that she should run for sheriff.
I personally was, in Ronnie Lawson's place. If I was, law enforcement in Hawkins County, that would have been, treated. Summer's case would have been treated so much differently, because the minute, for one, my officers would have knew the minute they arrived, you split these people up into different vehicles, law enforcement vehicles. You don't let nobody leave the hill once they're on the hill. You seize their cars, you seize everything. You get them, all these people off that.
You actually can't seize anybody's cars without a warrant? What is she talking about? The Wells gave them free reign, gave them permission to search the house. It was searched several times. The cars were all searched. The camper was searched. I mean, they treated it as a missing child, right? They thought she just wandered off, which is actually quite often the case. Sure. Hey, Chaparita. I do. I said it last night. Or was it the night before? I think it was the night. No, it was last night. Something happened while they were at Priceless. And I don't know, we talked about maybe she hit her head on something at the pond, or somehow got a closed head injury because she was laughing at Sonic when they got the slushes. So then something happened at Priceless. Because then they dropped Hunter off, and by 3:09 on the way home, she was already unconscious and turning blue, turning pale on the milk jugs. So something happened in between there. In between around 2:30 and 3:09. So Hunter, Candy, and Candace, whatever happened, no. They know what happened. So I don't know. I don't think it was deliberate. I'm not sure what exactly it was, but I think we can pretty much narrow down when and who was there.
Heel. You tape it off. It is now a crime scene until we figure out it.
Oh, Charlie, not sheriff. Sheriff. The sheriff. Yes, Renee, when are you going live? She did threaten that, didn't she? Oh, yeah. Everybody's blocked in PGs. But she says that. You don't have to agree with her. She believes in free speech. They don't block anybody over there. Everybody I know is blocked over there. Somebody said, "Oh, you're blocked in PGs" to me, and I'm like, that's a badge of honor over there. If you don't kiss her ass, you're gone. You're gone. Ernie for Kentucky, PG for Tennessee. And we think things are bad there now.
It's not. No evidence is going to be destroyed at all.
What evidence?
If we have to take wandering off in consideration, so we will access that from the road, going back into the foliage, not off the hill into the foliage. The hill would have been. It was very important to keep the hill, 100% intact for evidence. There had to be some evidence there.
I think, but I mean, Dawn got there before anyone else.
Oh no, Chaparita, you're fine. All opinions are welcome here. No, seriously, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with anybody. Just bring it up. All opinions welcome. You might jog our minds or make us think of something we hadn't seen before or thought of before. So, question away. The dream team. Gypsy Soul. I don't know anything about Gypsy. Hi, Aaron. Gotta love that steel-toed boot. Yeah. Oh, 120 acres. You're right. Yes. Well, and Brooks, too. She thinks Candace. I think that PG would like to show Dawn, a woman scorned. She'd like Dawn to be. My bag and suit. I know. I think something happened. Hi, Pam O'Connor. I think I said hi to you, didn't I? The water hole was actually the one place that Candace showed emotion. When she was doing that Chris McDonough interview, he said he actually had to quit taping because she was crying and lost control. And I didn't see her in any other interview really lose it like she did there. Didn't she say everything slowed down? Or like it was in slow motion or something? I don't know what she was going through there, but yeah, I think she'd kick me out, but not block me. Oh, I don't know. She got me blocked. Oh, Discovering Noah absolutely was that day. And I said I was going to die on that hill, that it wasn't that day. But yeah, it was proven to me that it really was that day. I don't know. Snatched by... I don't know. No, that milk jug video really was that day. I'm serious. And I thought I was the last person to realize that because I was dead set that was not that day. Um, yeah, as long as you don't ever disagree with her. That's why she kicked me off the panel, boy. She didn't like it when I'm like, I've actually heard her argue over in Daisy's panel with someone that was telling something about themselves, and PG was telling them they were wrong. That was hilarious.
Yes. No, actually, when Don showed up, law enforcement was already there.
Yeah, that's true. PG did get that right. Brooks was wrong. She's saying Don got there before law enforcement. He did not. There was already at least one police car there at 7:09 when Don got there.
Why does Don tell two different stories?
Wait, what? Wait. Okay, if it was that day, then that's a whole other outfit that wasn't mentioned. Well, they said they put her in that because she was cold. That Candy bought her that outfit for school. Although I'm not sure that was an appropriate outfit for school in the summer in Tennessee, but there you go. But yeah, I don't. She was in a pink shirt and gray shorts when she went missing, allegedly. It's a Candace story. So you wonder when Summer changed her clothes. Where the gray shorts come in. I don't know. There's a lot of questions. Will we ever really know what happened? I don't think it's a trafficking ring, but that's just my opinion. I think it's much simpler and closer to home than that, actually. What? No way. He's not law enforcement. Really? And she had her husband calling Stacy Wander over breakfast. I remember that. Holy crap. I didn't know that. Yeah, the swimsuit. Honestly, I think she is in the swimsuit, wherever she is, but I could be wrong.
Because Don Wells does not want to tell the truth. He wants to lie.
But yeah, everything he told you is truth, right? Because you spout that like it's the gospel. Why do you think he would lie to everybody but not to you? He's lying. He's just a liar. That's just a fact. Of course he wants to lie, but I tell the Cher the same thing. Don lied to you just like he did everybody else. He was heard on the phone while somebody was talking to Candace. Don said he was feeding bullshit to a YouTuber. He thought it was funny. So I don't know why these YouTubers, any of them. I mean, he told different YouTubers different stories and then watched them argue. He thought that was funny. So I don't know why any of them think that they know the truth, that they know what nobody else knows.
He wants to distort everything, just like Fred Hill wants to distort everything. Jody, Sue, and Andy want to distort everything. They're all wanting to, distort everything.
Kathy wants to distort everything.
Due to the simple fact that if they don't do this and, run people around many different bushes and trees, then they're afraid that, the truth will be found. It will be brought out. And I don't think that just Don, Candace, and Grandis is going to be wearing bracelets and all of this. I think that this is, a group effort. I think something was, what I'm saying is Ben Hill Road, you had, multiple illegal dealers in there. like Andy selling one thing, you had, Fred dealing in another thing, and then you had the Wells dealing into something that, should not ever be dealt in at all.
What was that? What was that?
It is what it is, and, it does happen in America, and they are a lot of, very sick individuals, humans who, use and abuse and partake upon children. It's disgusting. But you got to go back to Utah where Don, was trying to sell his own son.
He was not trying to sell his own son in Utah. Okay, stop that. Stop telling that bullshit. Oh, please. Oh, my goodness. I've disproven that story.
To someone for what? The same thing that we suspect they were doing in Tennessee. Over in Arkansas, him and Pam was actually running a place like we expect they were doing in Tennessee.
No, they weren't. They were not. They were not doing that. And I've seen her embellish her stories, and they grow and grow and grow over time. And this is what we end up with right here. All this bullshit. Can she talk about anything other than something to do with sex? I mean, for 3 days, she talked about a girl in a hotel room with white substance leaking out of her vagina. I mean, is that something that you need to talk about for 3 days? It's like she enjoys talking about children being sexually abused, and I don't understand it. Yes, and Trish, she said that she was there that night and remembered it when Pam brought Margie and Donnie in. Only when it happened, Margie wasn't even born yet, and Trish would have been like 1, I think. I looked at the dates. And in the first place, if Don sold his son to a dealer, what street corner dealer wants a little kid in the first place? And so Pam just went there and got him back. I mean, what did she use to buy him back with? If they didn't have any money and Don was selling his kid, that whole story makes no more sense than anything Jose said, as far as I can tell.
Children were removed, for being essayed out of.
No, they weren't. Can you show any proof of anything you're saying there as far as Arkansas? Anything? Children being removed? Yeah, Lisa Jett lost her kids, but they weren't running. She was saying that Don and Candace were going, or Pam and Don were going to churches and things, recruiting pregnant, I've heard her say this before, recruiting pregnant women so they could traffic their children. But they got Candace and brought her home, which is not true. And when they found out Candace's baby was mixed race, they didn't want it. And that's not true either. It was not mixed race. And she didn't take it home from the hospital. So none of this happened. This drives me crazy, the bullshit that comes out of her mouth.
Arkansas. And, this is the same thing we expect was going on at Ben Hill Road. And according to Jody Sue, it was.
Okay, I have a question for you. I'm going to do Q&A with Prayer Garden, okay?
Here we go. She literally, Brooks cannot do a live without mentioning my name. People send me the timestamps or the screenshots every day of her mentioning me, and here we go. And I have no idea what she's talking about here. This is just an out and out lie. This is just the build up to asking Kathy a question.
Okay, Prayer Garden. And by the way, even though people ask me all the time, I know your real name and it does not matter. Does anyone in here have an issue with who Prayer Garden is? And why is Lisa K. Ruitz asking anyone she finds in my chat to try to find Prayer Garden's phone number, address, everything?
I don't know anybody in Brooks's chat, and I have never talked to anyone in her chat, and I have no idea what she's talking about. Anybody that knows me knows that I have known who Prayer Garden is for at least 2 years. I have her phone number, address, everything. Everything about her whole entire history. So why would I need to ask anybody in her chat? I don't know them.
Last person that tried it was Trevor Lee. And you know what she did? She found that person because he started it in my Discord. And
for one.
What? I found that person. I don't know what she's talking about. What person?
No one in the YouTube world knows who I am.
I know.
You know I know who you are.
I don't think even you know who I am. Nobody knows who PG is. Nobody knows where I live or where I come from. Absolutely not.
Thing about it, PG ain't missing. The kids are.
And that's true too. That's true. That's very much true. They call me many names out here. But if I don't think it'd be hard to find out, if
but I felt bad for that woman.
Go back 4 years.
I felt bad for that woman. And
I've been out here, from day one on this particular case.
No, you haven't.
Day one.
No, you haven't.
I was on the inside of this case. I was getting
inside information from your love. Did I miss something? Yeah, 120 acres. Yeah. Why didn't she take both of them? And it is odd that she tried to buy one. And not even the one Don was trying to sell, right? That didn't make sense either. Actually, nothing about that made sense. Yeah, that wasn't Chip Reed, that wasn't true. Well, Kathy, I've never doxed anyone. If I did, it would be her. She knows I know who she is. If I tell you how, she'll okay. So let me go down. Yeah, I remember. Did I already highlight this discovering? Yeah, that was horrible. Well, Brooks also said in that Kansas moms case that the Kansas moms were fed to the pigs. And I'm like, what? Because I was in a mod group for Carrie Moody, who was covering that case and was right there. And one of the people in the mod group was a first responder, and he'd been there. So he knew what was going on, and he knew that they weren't fed to the pigs, and he was laughing at that. But I said they weren't fed to the pigs. So the next day, Brooks said, oh, law enforcement is just right now loading pigs into a trailer to take into evidence. And her whole chat was, oh, Lisa K's a liar then. I'm like, no. Huh. And then they were found in a freezer buried in a hole. Imagine that. Yeah, she likes sensational crap. Yep. She did. She tried to get Don to leave Candace and bring the boys. That is the truth. And I have a recording of that, of her crying about being alone for the rest of her life.
Many answers for this little girl. I have diligently, worked very hard on this case.
What the fuck? You haven't even shown her in what? It's been over 4 years, right? You have never even once shown her missing flyer. Not once in all that time. Not once. Summer's channel doesn't show Summer's. Yeah, you Photoshop her pictures into little cartoons, but that's not her missing flyer, is it? You haven't shown age progression photos. You haven't done anything, actually, but just spread salacious rumors, and that's my opinion, and I'm going to keep it. I'm going to be alone too. I'm just a cat lady. Me too, and I don't have any friends, and I never leave the house. I remember that too. Oh yeah. And I have Benny's tirade telling all about PG. I've got all the, trust me, I've got her lock, stock, and barrel. I actually even have her phone number that she called Ziggy from, which was her son's phone number at the time, who she lives with. I got it all. She knows it.
Trying to figure out exactly what exactly happened to this precious innocent child.
The precious innocent child that you usually call it? That child? Oh my Lord.
And I have worked many hours, trying to figure all the things out that happened June 5th.
BK, he had a problem, a legal problem, and got arrested, and then he violated probation, I believe, and went back. And then when he got out, part of his probation was to not be on social media. I don't know if that was just forever or a certain amount of time or whatever. He is still around. He does still email people, but he's not on social media as far as I know. I guess he could be using a sock account, but I don't think he wants to go back to jail, actually. Benny's smart. He wanted to do a panel together before he went to jail. I said you're smart, you're well spoken, and I said you should do things like that cooking and crime. His cooking and crime videos were the best thing he ever did. Those were awesome. They really were. They worked, and he should have just stuck to that, in my opinion, instead of some of the crazier stuff he did. I mean, he was really good at that. 120 acres. I just unblocked you, and now here we go. I've done a lot, actually. And I have not told a lie at all. So I don't know what you're talking about, actually.
Think that you had to go before that, you had to go into the past, and then you have to, follow it into the future. It's a lot of work. But,
PG, you've done a good job.
I think that it has paid off greatly. It has.
Oh, yeah, BB, they were, I did not say anything about you. Oh. Where is it? You said, Lisa K., what have you done for Summer or her Aunt Rose besides lie? 120 acres, it's right there. Oh, is that a fake? Is that a troll? Okay, I'm sorry, hon. I think Innocent's got it handled. She's good at that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's using your av even, but people do that to me too, so okay, I totally believe you. Oh no. We're fine. We're fine. Keep on. I don't know who that was, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, Innocent's got it handled, 120, because she's right on that stuff. Speaking of that, I hope Eve's okay. Maybe this is too late for her. I'm sorry. It was just using your av, and yeah. Hey, Ryan. I know. Why is that? I was over in, one time I was two people using my name in my av, and not that Lisa K has nothing to say either. They were all Lisa K has something to say, and they all have my av. Oh, Ernie, I love you. I'm like, really? Oh, that is Phoebe. You're right. You're right. That is Phoebe. Okay, sorry, 120 acres. I'm sorry that happened to you. I hate that when that happens to me too, but we're good. You're good. Okay. So, what were we back to what we were talking about? Yeah, Pam, Pam, I think Pam is lonely. Um, so wait, I was going to go up to Ryan. Okay, let's give Ryan shit for canceling his live tonight. Ryan, do you want to explain yourself? You said you were going to reschedule it. You better. I saw a video. Is Phoebe related to PG? No, Phoebe is. No, she's definitely not. I know someone that's just obsessed with Phoebe, and she's done her whole entire family tree and history. No, Phoebe's not related to PG. I don't know why she is obsessed with her. And she doesn't like me. So yeah, she trolls me quite often. Yeah, I'm sorry, 120 acres. I apologize. Somebody just trying to disrupt my chat. Candace and Don are split up. They had a little another little episode, or a bigger episode this time. Candace moved to Georgia, is staying with a friend, and Don is at 110. I know Ryan is in trouble. Ryan, explain yourself, please. I know. Ryan, Ernie scared Ryan off. You better come through. Oh yeah, I've done a lot of genealogy. I love it. I can't get back that far because my tree goes overseas. Someday maybe. 1600s. Good job. Wow. I can't. I'm stuck in Ireland. Stuck there. Do you know who was using my name? I'm pretty sure it was Phoebe. Yeah, Jimmy Long, Phoebe. Ernie wants Ryan to call him. I saw that. Ryan, did you see that? Oh yeah, Pam, it did. I remember when somebody used your name. That had to be Phoebe too. The missing lady and kids in Arkansas. Yeah, that was ridiculous. Just because Candace was on the steps and that lady walked by her with a kid. Oh yeah, they're missing. They came up missing. Candace and Don trafficked them. And Don, when the police came, Don was naked in that hotel room. Well, he sleeps naked. Newsflash, a lot of people do. Not me. I like a shirt on, however. An awful lot of people do sleep naked, and they're not child traffickers, so I don't know how she got to that. Oh, 1600, not 600. 1600 is still pretty darn far back. Renee. Okay. I texted him offering to search, but I need to ask him questions about his credentials. Oh, what did I miss? Are you talking about Ernie? Because Ernie wanted you to. Ern wants Ryan to call him. Yeah, he put that out there. Yeah, trolls. Yeah, it did happen to. Okay.
Paid off. I think we do know, exactly what was going on up there. I think we do know why this little girl had to disappear. And the hours that I put in, I think was very much worth it. I would do it again. And I think that now we're down to the wire of, is law enforcement going to go over there to that particular graveyard and do what needs to be done to see if this little girl is actually down in there. And I do believe she is.
Did anybody else remember a couple months ago Kathy saying if they didn't go dig up that grave that she would shut down her YouTube channel? Because I do. The internet is forever. I know. Well, and that's another thing. Yeah, he doesn't have anything to do with Summer's case. And, Candace, she didn't say. I heard somebody say. Candace said 2 days, and she would tell him everything that went on. No, she just said, "Give me 2 days, and we'll talk." She didn't say she was going to tell him anything. For crying out loud, she isn't going to tell anybody anything. Nope. Not gonna tell. I wouldn't bet on that, actually. Oh, the Knights Templar is cool. No way. That's awesome. Oh my god. Innocent until proven gay. I don't remember that. She's just nasty. I know. She's not the only one that I think that, but yeah, she's the new Christian. Rumor. Yeah, he kept saying that, didn't he? People were calling with black numbers. Unless you tell me who you are and stop with the black numbers. Well, I know I'm not going to call him. She believes she's in that grave in Morrison Cemetery, Ryan, the one that was already searched. No, they really did split, BB Diamond. They got in a little tiff. And Candace got the bad end of that. And she took off to Georgia with a good friend of hers. She put up a Cash App. She talked about it on her in a community post, I believe, and put up her Cash App and said that, if people wanted to help her start over. And I think she was looking for a job there because she quit her job. And that's about all there is to say about that, I think. Oh, I'm that Pam O'Connor. Pam, you're getting it again. Now that one I can see. Do you think that's Ronald or is that really Phoebe? Yeah, I see. Accident cover up. Yep, I think that too. Yeah. Oh, I don't think, I thought it was just I'll talk to you. Okay, yeah. Go find that clip. Go to bed, Phoebe. Phoebe's probably just getting up. Candace got the bad end of that from what I hear. You know, Candace, plus Ernie keeps trying to say that one where she was gagging and digging, she was camping with her friend. And I know where she was camping, and she was surrounded by people, and they were digging a fire pit, for crying out loud. She wasn't burying a body in the middle of a campground surrounded by people in front of the shower building. Sorry. Didn't happen, Ernie. You know, we talked about, I don't know, but they were, of course, you know, what do I want to say? They were not sober. And somebody said maybe the pressure's getting to Don, like he kind of blames Candace. Things are ramping up, you know, people are talking more like it's going to be solved. I don't know. They just think maybe Don is losing patience. And, you know, takes it out on Candace. I really don't know. I really don't. I don't think anybody knows. I haven't heard anybody say. And I got a pretty good source for what goes on in the Wells household. So, Phoebe. Hey, Annabelle. Phoebe is, yeah, that's what Ziggy calls her, Phoebe. I thought that was funny. I kind of, yeah, I think so, 120 acres. I don't think he was there, did it? Phoebe, Australia's horrified by you. Boy, D Presents really told her off the other day. Holy crap. Yeah, and, you know, as far as, I don't know, I just have mixed feelings about everybody, YouTubers going around interviewing all these people, suspects, paying for polygraphs for these people. I thought when Don and Candace passed their polygraph, the word was that polygraphs didn't mean anything, right? When they didn't turn out the way they wanted. If Don and Candace didn't pass their polygraph, we'd be hearing about it still to this day. Why aren't they in jail? Actually, Phoebe said that if Don and Candace were in Australia, they'd have the death penalty. Except that Australia doesn't have the death penalty, so there's that, you know. That might be a problem, Phoebe. But you go, girl. Whatever. You disagree with me on what, hun? You can disagree with me all you want. As far as YouTubers interviewing people, I'm yeah. Well, plus the boob pictures. She puts her whole entire life online. Oh no, it wasn't because of the fire pit. She'd been drinking all day. Or that's what her mom said. That she was drunk. I know who she was with. The person she's with now, actually. But that's okay. You don't have to disagree with me. Innocent and I have Innocent and I disagree on some major parts of the case too. Oh, same old. Yeah, but yes. I really think that. And I mean, if you were a suspect and somebody brought you on, that's just giving you a chance to push your agenda, right? And like taint the jury pool if they're listening, or you know, like in the Sebastian Rogers case, I mean, things are so out of proportion. And then that, you know, that just makes some YouTubers bring out fake people, like Ziggy with the fake CPS report, and Sebastian Rogers with the fake neighbor, and there was another fake person in the Sebastian case too. Oh, and the fake babysitter in Summer's case. Yeah, just a lot of stuff for clicks and views. Okay.
And, it's just a waiting game of when they're going to go over there and when they're going to, let us know, yeah, she's there, and pull her out.
Yeah, 120 acres, you got it. That is 100% what's going on right there. I didn't say it.
And maybe law enforcement already knows she's there and they're seeking something else.
Okay, this is ridiculous. Law enforcement knows that she's buried in that grave, but they're just leaving her there while they do something else. She really just said that. She really just said that. How would they know she's there unless they dug her up? And second of all, if they knew she was there, they wouldn't be leaving her there. Okay, I'm sorry. There was never a fiance, but we can ask her. Kyle, why don't you go in her chat and ask her? I gag. You know what what makes me gag is like spit from chewing tobacco. Okay, I don't want to start thinking of that because that is something that makes me gag pretty bad. Okay, so we're back to the law enforcement knows she's in the grave and they're leaving her there. Okay. Oh, yeah, and she said she was at the grave. She said that she was checking the grave with a girlfriend and someone saw her. Kathy, you did not go to Tennessee. You were not at the grave. I don't know who you sent there. You're a nurse here. No, we don't want to talk about that.
Before they do pull her out of there. I don't know. But there's something shady going on because I think this case.
There's a lot of shady things going on. And I'm getting my question and answer. Do you remember, do you think Fred is involved?
In my opinion?
Yeah, only opinion.
In my opinion, yes. I believe Fred has his hand in this particular case. Absolutely. I believe he does. When he went up on the hill and said that he saw Jody Sue's son in a swimming pool with Summer.
Okay, that was a lie. He did not see Jody Sue's son in the swimming pool with Summer. I have a picture of someone in the swimming pool with Summer, but it's not Jody Sue's son. And it was quite a bit earlier than that. Summer was quite a bit younger. I asked Fred if he had a picture of that particular thing, and he said no. So, was that the same day that he met and talked with Rose Bly, I'm wondering? Okay, let's go on with Fred said. Yep, total lie. Yeah, no, she lives up north. BB Diamond, Google Flippo the Clown that she used to watch when she was a child.
And talked about, Don and Candace and them being inside the house. Nobody else being outside. He was, and I know that his mind was in a very dark place with the things he was thinking about this boy and this 5-year-old. Well, at that time, she'd have been about 4 years old. So, and he was, he was thinking his mind was in a very dark place. Now, I don't know where Jody Sue's son's mind was.
So let's just smear everybody. Fred and Jody Sue's son are, involved in nefarious sexual things with a child. Hell, everybody PG's ever heard of is evil demonic entity.
I don't know if Fred knew something I don't, and he knew what was going on when he went up there because,
I don't know if Fred knew something I don't. That's hilarious. God forbid.
He was there, wondering why he has to go after this, take his turn after instead of before. I don't know, but something wasn't right.
Do you find it coincidence that the day that Summer went missing, when Candace has dick all to do, any other day of the week, she had so many things she had to get done. Milk, cheese, vapes, twisted tea for Hunter.
Right.
We know CPS was there on the 14th.
No, we don't.
And then she goes down, to Fred's house. Chad is there.
Right.
Don told Kristen.
And now
he told me that he checked the shed first. He actually gave a statement to the police and said when he saw Blue Roof Don and his sons, he knew that Summer was gone.
Don Wells knew Summer was gone after, Don Wells knew Summer was gone when he called Candace, and after the swimming hole incident, he knew Summer was gone.
What swimming hole incident?
He knew that everything that had been planned was being carried out.
Oh my God. What? So I haven't listened this far. What the fuck? What? What? What swimming hole incident?
In my opinion. And when he got home, see, it's like, I think we've all made plans in our life, to do things not like this, but we've all made plans.
Hey, Reading Dancer. What am I behind on? Kyle, you're not blocked. We see you. You're not blocked. Candace, call in. The tattoo. Yeah, don't tell me they're about to fight over what Don Wells stole. Planned and carried out to destroy that little girl. I hate that word, destroy.
In our life to do stuff, right? Like maybe sneak out to see our boyfriend, right? And now we got to sneak back in.
Hold on, girlfriend. You got a boyfriend? Woo!
I'm talking about when we were teenagers.
What?
But
my goodness.
when you're a teenager, you sneak out to see your boyfriend and you're all excited and all this stuff and everything's going well. But
Is this like leading up to more sex talk? I just feel like it might be going that way.
now you have to sneak back in, right? And when you go to sneak back in, well, all the repercussions, start to hit you, right? That the lights might come on, your parents might be standing there, or you might sneak back in and, your parents standing in the dark, which is going to be even more scarier, right? Before they turn on the light and, and you're going to get in a lot of trouble and you got that adrenaline going, right? And until you're actually back in and you know that you wasn't busted and you're safe, you're very much on edge. I mean, you're freaking out.
No, I see the plan. I got it.
And I think that's what Don, I I think that's what Don was experiencing when he came in to Ben Hill Road, and saw the police and everything. It got real. It got real. And he was, like when you're trying to sneak back in that window, it's getting real now. And you're nervous and you're shaking and, and you're very much on edge. And, once you get back inside and and everything, it takes a while before, you're able to bring that adrenaline down and calm down.
I think I'm getting a headache. What are we even talking about here? Her teenage years?
And, get your shit basically back together. And I think that.
Hey, Eve. Welcome. Enough of your childhood. I know I just said that right. That's what I just said before I saw your comment. Yes, we're reliving her childhood.
That's what he was experiencing. And he didn't go to a shed when he came back into Ben Hill Road. He went straight down to the bottom of the property where the boys and the neighbor was because he needed to sit in his car for a few minutes and pull his crap together before he could, go any farther with it, because when he saw everything going on, it all became real.
What? He sat in his car for a few minutes. Where the hell did that come from? What? I never heard that. Alright, I think I'm about done. Don Wells is an empty, evil shell of a human, and so is his wife, Candace. Alright. And it goes on and on and on. Oh, no, they're talking about Candace's toenails. Of course, we have to. Oh, when she was in Daisy's pool. Okay, so now we're into the body shaming part of the live. Oh my God, they're still talking about it. About her feet. Oh, wait.
So now I know why Chad had Candace follow.
Oh, here.
Or calling saying they have kids in.
Tell you something. After seeing those feet, I know why. I know why Chad took. Now I know why Chad had Candace follow him over there to the gravesite. With feet like that, it wouldn't have took her no time to dig out a hole, right?
What the fuck? Did you guys hear that? Do I need to play it again? What disgusting shit. Oh my God. Oh my God. Gets worse.
With feet like that, it wouldn't have took her no time to dig out a hole, right? And she really saved them some time, I'm sure.
And then Kathy was all upset because this was trying to
I was like having 10 shovels at work.
She took that picture of her and put it on OnlyFans, and I was like, "What?
Oh my gosh, is that Can in the wilderness?"
Oh, she didn't.
Was waiting on.
Yeah, okay. We're going to end it here because this is where she shows the picture of the lady with only a t-shirt on, naked, with a naked butt, and she's saying that that's Candace. She's done that before. Okay, so I think we're about done. I'm not into the body shaming part of this bullshit. So anyway. Yeah, she laughs. Yeah, she thinks everything's funny. Everything's funny. Okay, sorry to she just has yeah, she'll get the giggles and she'll giggle for like, an hour just maniacally. And there's really nothing funny. She thinks she's just hysterical. Okay, so anyway, we're at 2 hours. I try to keep it at that. And yes, her humor is sick. So Ryan, when are you going to do your Ernie Shaw Live? We all want to know. My phone's blowing up with people asking me when that's going to be scheduled for. Not to put you on the spot or something. Her and her terrible memes. Oh my God, that just about makes me want to vomit. Especially when she, puts, like that one of Quentin and Summer in the boat or whatever, fishing, or I don't know. It's just so disrespectful. After Denver, is that Crime Con? Well, how the hell long? You're going to make us wait until next week? That's just so unfair. Can't you go live from Crime Con, Ryan? Come on. Could I get lightning bolts in the chat if we want Ryan to go live at Crime Con? Can I get an Ernie recap? Oh my God. I don't think I can say. So the accident report came out. His boss sent is that what you want, the accident? The boss sent the dash cam to the police, and it showed him speeding, failure to maintain a lane, driving recklessly, running a stop sign, and then hitting some trees. Then the cops got there, and he was running down the highway. I believe it said the center line, or else someone added that in chat. In one shoe and shorts. And how did they subdue him that time? I think they got him to stop. They did threaten to tase him at one point. EMTs got there. It's posted on Degenerate Lost, and I shared it, so it's on my community wall too. And there were 2 officers there, and not the 5 that Ernie said he carried on his back. And he was in the ambulance twice and ran. The report said he broke free 3 times after the ambulance got there. Oh, and that's when they had to threaten to tase him. And the officers got covered in blood and body fluids. I don't know what that would be, but exposed to HIV. And one officer got a hurt shoulder and I believe a hurt arm trying to subdue him. And then they couldn't give him a field sobriety test because he had eyes bulging, veins popping out, was seeing people that weren't there. He thought Bigfoot was after him. And so the officer took him to the hospital. I think that's the recap. Was I right? Oh, wow. An in-person interview with Ernie. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. Although he's very deferential to men. I bet Ern will be at Crime Con. Ryan, look out for him. Maybe you can get your picture taken with Ernie. Oh my God, no way. No fucking way. Please. Oh my God. I can't handle this. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Ernie would have had to have been crowdfunding before now. He doesn't have $400. Plus, he's got like 54 broken bones, remember? Plus the flu. Yeah, Bigfoot was chasing him. Oh, yes, it has, BB Diamond. Almost exactly. And he actually said they did tase him, but in the report, It said they just threatened to tase him. He said he told them, go ahead and tase him. It wouldn't do anything to him because he's immune to tasers. I said, well, you sure were screaming the last time. He said, oh, well, yeah, it hurts the first time. Whatever. Yeah, seeing people who weren't there. Well, he has that problem. That's what Eric Rush said, too. He heard voices and, yeah, had some delusions. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Thank you, Rumor. Yeah, they confiscated, what else? They confiscated all his badges, some masks, and something else. He's going to be right out of business when he gets out. Without a driver's license? Yeah. And he's gotten offered jobs from all these transportation companies that have been messaging him, telling him they have jobs open for him. You don't have a driver's license, Ern. You're going to lose that. Bigfoot. I don't know. Bigfoot. Yeah, Ernie said the police were lying. Yeah. Oh, Rain Dancer? Rain Dancer wants you to go live from CrimeCon. Well, he's kind of like a train wreck, or a dumpster fire. Like you can't tear yourself away. Kind of. So I can't watch him all the time, but you never know what kind of fucked up thing he's going to say next. I guess it's just kind of fascinating to watch someone lie when things are so easily disproven. I mean, there were only 2 cops at the scene. He didn't carry 5 cops on his back fighting them. I don't know. Yeah, everything in their report was wrong, he said. So I can't wait till we get the dash cam. I did message his boss and ask if I could get the dash cam from him instead of getting it from law enforcement. I thought it would be quicker. And then, the police, the body cams from the police, that is going to be gold. So as soon as it's up, I'll post that and share that on my community page because we want to see that. Oh yeah, he did. He said he knocked Fred Hill out, but then later he said he didn't know Fred Hill. He also said he knew Don Wells. Oh, I saw that. He also said he knew Don Wells from the construction business before Summer went missing. And that was when I was on his panel. And I said, when was that? He said he was an electrician for 4 years. Shelby said he wired up lights for an electrician for 2 weeks. He was not an electrician for 4 years. And he said, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2000, something like that, 2006. I said, well, Don Wells didn't even move to Tennessee till 2009. So you did not meet Don Wells on a construction site. I'm sorry. Busted. Yeah, I saw him say that. Yeah, and he was really popular. He did really good in that photo business. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I know what kind of photos he was taking. The ones like were found on his phone by his wife. Maybe those. I know, immune to the taser. Yeah, doesn't affect him. He did say he knocked Fred Hill out. I thought it was on the tactical gear. Maybe it was. I don't know. Shelby said he has all kinds of uniforms. Well, he's posting them for different pictures all this time. He said he has all kinds of badges and, yeah, all kinds of stuff. And what is he doing with all that? And he said, those badges were all issued to me. There's no reason why I couldn't have those. That military police one is from Vietnam. It's a Vietnam era badge. So I don't think that was issued to Ernie. I have to call on that one. That would be false. Oh, what? Well, like his dad said, he always wants to be something he's not, right? Oh, cool. Cool. Everybody sub up to Ryan so we can see that. That would be cool. I know the body cam would be amazing. I'm waiting for that moment. Yeah. And he said 5'8", and 165 pounds of fighting steel. I wonder if he had to put his Superman shirt on first. Why is he in the van with only shorts? I don't think I've ever seen him wear shorts. Has anybody? I'm tempted to say something, but I'm not going to. But shorts and one shoe. He seems to have a problem keeping shoes on. Did anybody notice that? He's always just got one shoe or no shoes. What is it about that? Yeah, I don't. Rain dancer. That's amazing. Yeah, I know. Isn't that hilarious? I can't wait. I really can't wait. And what's he going to say about that? How's he going to explain that away? The body cam away? Saying it was photoshopped or something? Dolly say he could not get to, oh my God. You know, Dolly had all that money that people donated for him to go to CrimeCon last year. Wasn't it? When he didn't go? He should still have all that money left. Oh, Vinnie Politan. I don't know. You know, maybe that was when Fred thought he saw Rose Bly when Ernie knocked him in the head. Black tactical gear? Peachy. I wonder what happened to his prison uniform there. Oh my God, he was selling 8x10 pictures for $35. And that was quite a while ago. Can you do the fault sound? Nah. I don't know. People said I sounded childish when I did the meow. So, am I any better at the nah? Actually, the dildos were not in the van. That's all I'm going to say. The dildos are somewhere else. Oh my God, is he still live, Jess? Welcome. We're just wrapping up. Is he still live? Oh my God. How many times did you go live today? 4? And then the deleted one. Black tactical gear. You know, you got it. Yeah. Oh no, he's flipped out again. Yeah, they well, and then ever since he's been in the hospital begging for morphine shots. So, and then he said he got Percocet, and then he showed his prescriptions, and there was oxycodone on there. And he said, that's a muscle relaxer. That's a muscle relaxer. Oxycodone is not a muscle relaxer. I'm sorry, Ernie. You don't give morphine to an addict. I don't know what they're thinking there. I don't know. I can't begin to, fathom what he's thinking or sift through his lies. Yeah, he's flipped out, all right. He actually has big feet. Well, in his shoes, he's shown those lifts he puts in his shoes. They add like 2 to 2 to 3 inches. And then the bigger heels on him too. I've seen him. He pulled those out on a live and showed how they made him taller. I'm behind again? Oh, shit. I'm always behind. Oh, I left hours ago. All that, and he's not in jail. No, he is not in jail. He just got issued traffic tickets, citations in Arkansas, and then the violation of probation in Kentucky. I don't know if he's still in the run from that. He might be. He accidentally kind of doxed his location tonight. What that was, you remember the red couch place? And then he got a new probation agent. He had just been into the probation agent's office 2 weeks before the warrant was issued. But he got a brand new one. So they did a home visit. And when they went there, they told him Ernie didn't live there anymore because he was, on the road. So they left a notice to check in at the PO's office. And he didn't get it. They said they were unable to locate him, and he wasn't there to get it, so he didn't show up. So that's when they issued the warrant. So I don't know how serious that is. Yeah, he didn't put his change of address, but he didn't really have an address. I mean, he's in the van traveling the country, right? So I don't know how that's going to go, and I don't think they're going to extradite him for something like that. Which is just my opinion. I'm going to keep it. Hey, Ms. Led 222. Good to see you in here, but we're just about done. Candace got some thrown. Yeah. Well, he left a bag at Jimbo's. He left a bag at Candace. He left a bag at South Carolina. Where else? There's another bag around there somewhere, plus the one he has now. Oh, he likes to think he's taller than he is and scrawny. No, I agree. Kentucky does not seem to care, and I don't know. I think so, Kyle. He thinks it's all going to be dismissed. I honestly do think that something will happen, yes. For one thing, he is still on probation, sorry. He is still on probation. And the officers, the resisting arrest and the officer getting hurt, the officer hurt his shoulder and his arm, I believe. And then the DUI, yeah, I think he will serve some time. The funny thing is, when he got probation, all he had to serve was 3 more months, and he would have been free and clear. He chose 2 years probation over 3 more months in jail, which, I mean, most people I know would have done 3 months. That's what Don did. Remember, Don Wells could have got out of jail early if he would have went to rehab, and he said fuck it, and he did the rest of the time, and then was still on probation, but he didn't have to go to rehab. Okay, I'm down at the bottom. Rumor has it I don't think he'll show up for court, and that's probably a pretty good guess. He does have a history of that. Okay, so we're done. Thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for except for the 2 trolls, or the 1 troll, who changed names. I think you know who you are. And everybody else. Yeah, Miss Led, I'm sorry you weren't here earlier. I am caught up. Hey Rakes, you didn't have much to say tonight. You too, Ryan. Have a safe trip, and we'll look forward to your CrimeCon broadcast. Appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate my mods. You were awesome. Yeah, it's always fun. I'm sorry a couple of you guys got trolled. But I don't usually have that problem. Anyway, okay, what's today? What day is it? Wednesday. It's Wednesday? Okay, have a good rest of the week. Good night, Kyle. And we'll see you next time.